media products of the same genre. The film also sets off at home with a teenage girl watching a movie. The disruption of the equilibrium is shown when the girl's father gets home drunk and beats her. As the film continues, the resolution to this disruption is figured out, and the new equilibrium is the daughter managing to save her life and finding a new home. This model gives the narrative of the film an easy to understand feel so that the audience aren't baffled about what's going on. Binary opposites within my movie is illustrated through different characters. For example, the abusive father is a complete binary opposite to the caring social worker. We can also see the opposites in certain characters' fates. For example, the movie that Jade was watching, the character within the film died from committing suicide. However, as close as Jade gets to committing suicide, she takes a different turn and receives help. We can also see similar opposites within the film Kidulthood. The character Elisa, who is stressed out about her pregnancy and punches her tummy, illustrating she wants to abort the child. However, during the end, she comes to a conclusion of keeping the child and showing new life. Chronological or non-chronological order. My film was created in a non-chronological order as it starts off with Jade meeting the social worker and then explaining what has been going on in her life. This method was used as it keeps the viewers in suspense, which is typical to some drama film conventions such as adulthood. Adulthood uses flashbacks to illustrate the time Sam spent in jail. Open or closed ending. My film begins with a rather tragic beginning, therefore I had chosen to give the ending a happy and hopeful ending. The reason for why I chose to do this was for several reasons. For example, one of the reasons for why I did have a closed ending was because my choice of genre is drama. I realized that in most dramas, they usually have a closed ending. An example of this can be seen in Kidulthood, as it starts off with a death and ends with a death. However, all thoughts of revenge, anger, and worries are all clear, and all characters finally have their lives back on track. Another reason would be for the viewer's pleasure. Since the film started off rather graphic, I decided to end the film with a meaningful ending. This could also be seen as a message sent to the viewers who may be suffering from the same as the character, saying that suicide isn't the only choice and can be helped. Omniscient or unrestricted narrative. My film is set to an restricted narrative as it follows the point of view of Jade. This is because it makes it very empathetic for the viewers, creating an emotional and traumatic topic so the audience are grasped into the film. The genre, codes, and conventions. If we take a look at the character of the social worker Jenny, we can see that the behavior she takes on shows experience in her role as a social worker. The way she approaches Jade in a friendly manner, giving comfort and showing understanding to Jade will be similar to how most social workers do work with youth. The facial expressions are also very effective in showing character feelings and thoughts. Throughout the film, we can see many facial expressions, such as from the character Jade, just before she commits suicide. The fear and worry is shown in medium shots and close-ups. Body language also plays a similar role in conveying emotions and status. For example, he's over her, hitting her out of anger, while she's below in a turtle position in agony. The costumes also represent a genre of drama. Jade, despite her situation, she carries her youth through the way she dresses, which will be typical to the everyday teenage girl. The reason for why I chose to keep the costumes following modern trends was not only to illustrate drama, but I realized that the movie Kidulthood also had many characters that successfully brought similar roles of characters out by their attire. The makeup used in the film showed how brutally Jade was beaten and also the depression she was going under. All these codes and conventions combined within characters really bring out real life feeling once again, typical to the genre of drama. How is the storyline typical to that of the genre? The storyline to my film is typical to the genre through many aspects. For example, the situations that are being dealt with within the film are real life situations, so therefore it matches the genre of drama. My storyline is about a girl who attempts to hang herself due to her alcoholic father always bullying and beating her up. The teenage girl seeks help from a caring social worker who helps her through her situation and eventually finds her a new safe home to live in. Similar real-life situations are also seen in urban drama Kidulthood. For example, the character Katie is constantly bullied in college due to being ugly and a virgin, which eventually leads her to committing suicide. These sorts of typical behavior is seen in everyday life and is very common amongst teenagers wanting to commit suicide for such reason. This is why the storyline of my film is typical to its genre. Here I will be discussing the film language used. The cinematography used within the film really puts in the effects necessary in order to build suspense and give the correct representation of genre. I've decided that since drama is all about presentation of characters and their status, the use of several different camera angles are essential. For example, the use of low angles showing the dominance of the father over Jade when he is beating her shows his strength and adds exaggeration to the brutality. The movie Jade is watching, there is also another character who is also being abused. When she goes down to write in her diary, the camera is directly over her. We use a high angle to illustrate the weight that is being put on the character, dramatizing their struggle. We also use close-ups to show the emotions of Jade when she's about to hang herself. The use of soundtrack also helps develop suspense as well as portraying the genre of drama. I use non-diegetic soundtrack towards the end of the film, giving the film a social realistic feel as it has. The way the characters speak is also very relatable to everyday life. For example, Jade, the common teenage girl, speaks like an ordinary girl using slang and such. This could be seen as her doing so to her situations or her upbringing. Mise-en-scene used in the film is very important in displaying the genre of the film. The film is set in an everyday living environment, so it matches the conventions of drama. The film Kidulthood used the setting as a constant reminder of the genre of drama by setting the film in the most urban and rural areas, convincing us of the genre. The presentation of genre through costumes can also be seen in Kidulthood through characters like Jay and Mooney, who wear nothing but hoodies and jogger bottoms. This is to maintain their respect and their bad boy image. Props are also used as significant tools to the genre, as it is an example of how most alcoholic fathers do behave. The bottle is in the father's hand as he steps into the living room just before he abuses Jade.
That was a lie. I was far from fine. Jenny started asking stuff about my home life and why I haven't been in school. It all started when I was watching a movie about a girl who was being abused by her boyfriend. He was an alcoholic and she had no one to turn to apart from her pen and her paper. Until even that was not enough. And then she decided to take the matters into her own hands. The pressure was too much for her, so she took her own life away. Something about this movie really stood out to me, and then it really got me thinking about my life. Straight after the film had ended, I heard the front door open. After hearing the bang, I didn't need to ask who it was. I knew it was him. When I woke up the next day, I was in so much pain. Jenny said I shouldn't have stayed there, but to be honest, I didn't know what to do. I had bruises everywhere, and I knew I couldn't go to college looking like this. People would ask me too many questions. So then I decided something. But then the strangest thing happened. My college called me and they asked me why I haven't been in. I think they knew it was family problems, mainly because they said they put me in contact with a social worker. Bye. 2 days later, I was doing my bags to get ready for college, and my phone started to ring. It was the social worker, Jenny. Hello? Jenny wanted to meet up with me. I wasn't exactly happy about it. I decided to meet Jenny. I told her that she couldn't come to my house because of my parents, so I went to go meet her at the park.
So what shall I do? Let's go pack your bags and I will find somewhere safe for you to stay.
Okay.
Let's go.
And that was it. Jenny took me back home. I packed my bags and I entered her car. That was my story.